We are doing a review of all the different parts of the body, and we're having a special focus on mind and emotions. So there's going to be a lot of relaxation, restorative kinds of things. If you could have a bolster or a big pillow, a smaller pillow or a soft block, if you have one of those, and also a yoga belt and a rolled mat, or just be ready to roll your mat at some point, because I plan to do some chest openers with that. And I think that should do. So for the next 2 weeks, there's going to be quite a few props. So when you're ready, just take your spot and lie down. I've got my cozy mat this evening because it's a bit chilly here. And we're just going to start by tuning into the body. So just making sure the head is comfortable. If you have a blanket, you might want to put that under the head, or a cushion under the head. I've got my feet at the wall because I like the feeling of that. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale. You're going to bring your arms up overhead. You can bend the knees if you prefer. And exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. You can also put your big pillow or bolster behind you to bring your arms to. So if you have rotator cuff issues, etc., you might want to bring something to bring your hands to. So keep that in mind. And just lengthening the breath. And if you like, as you exhale, you can add a ha sound. And if you like, on the exhale, adding Brahmari, that humming sound. Nodding the chin down at the top of the inhale, just stretch the back of the neck if you can, and then release that as you exhale. Keep this going in your own timing. And if you like, adding Om as you exhale. Notice how the sound helps you lengthen the exhale. And just rest. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to your heart. Just make an intention for the class. What you would like to feel at the end of the class. Maybe it's a word, an image, a phrase. Just bring that to mind. An intention. And when you're ready, you're going to grab your big pillow or bolster and put it between your legs. You can also use just a smaller cushion for this. This is for grounding and for strengthening through the pelvic floor and inner thighs and all the way down to the feet. So place your hands on your belly. And this grounds our energy when we're feeling a little anxious or unsettled. So as you exhale, drawing your belly in, squeezing the pelvic floor, and pressing the legs, the thighs into the pillow, and feeling the feet. And then inhale, relax. Relax the legs, open them a bit, expand the belly. Now draw the belly in, pull up on the pelvic floor, squeeze the bolster, feel the feet, and inhale, relax. Just keep this going your own timing. Exhaling the energy down from the belly down to the feet. And inhale, relax. Expand the belly, release the legs. Feel the energy maybe going up as you inhale from the feet up. Exhale, belly down. Keep going. Can constrict the throat, making that ujjayi sound like the ocean if you like. And release. I'm going to remove that bolster. We're going to just do bridge pose. Just finding your place. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up. Bring your arms overhead to the floor behind you if this is comfortable. Otherwise, arms down by your sides. Lift your hips nice and high. And exhale, rolling down, leaving your hands where they are, and stretch them away from you as you come down so you stretch your whole spine. And at the end of the exhale, release. And keep that going. Inhale, feeling the energy coming up. Nodding the chin in at the top of the inhale. And exhale, rolling down, stretching your hands away from you, stretching the whole spine. As you roll down one vertebrae at a time, the energy going down towards your feet. Inhale, energy coming up from the feet, up the legs, up the back, all the way through the arms to the hands, tucking the chin in. And exhale, coming down, upper back, middle back, lower back, hips. Feel the energy coming down to the feet as you bring your hands down. One more time. And bring your arms to the side and your feet nice and wide. Just create a bit more space for myself. There we go. And you're just going to bring your knees side to side. As you exhale, it's a counter pose to the bridge. Inhale, center, exhale, side. And if you want to add on, you can bring the arm that's opposite to the twisted legs. You can bring that hand down and inhale, hands facing the ceiling, and exhale the other side, the opposite hand moving down. So the opposite hand to the knees, twisting. And if you want to add on further, you can add a slight roll of the head to the opposite side of the knees as you exhale and twist. Inhale, head back to the center. Just be careful of this one, it can be too much for the neck. Exhale, other side. So the back of the head is going a bit towards the side that the knees are on. And inhale, center. So watching that alignment of the head and neck as you move in space. And you can put those two movements together. The head and the hand rolling down as you exhale and inhale. Head center, hands facing up. Exhale, knees to one side, opposite hand moving down, and the head turning to that opposite side as well. Inhale, center. And just take a break. Just rest. Feet wide, angle the knees in, might feel nice on your lower back, side joints. If it doesn't, just find a place that does feel good for your back. It might be knees over ankles. So just play with that, see what feels best for you. All right. So we're going to take our belt and we're going to do another bridge pose. And this time we're going to work with the hips a bit. And we're going to create a little bit of space. So you're going to take that belt, it's going to be about hip width apart, and you're going to put it on your thighs. You can use a scarf or anything that you have. So that's also fine. And then this is to create some space in the groin area and the hips as you do this pose. It also can feel really nice on the SI joints. So let's just see how it feels for you. If this doesn't feel good, you can put a block or a pillow between the thighs and squeeze in rather than pressing out. So just see how this feels on your back. If it doesn't feel good, get rid of the belt and put a block between the thighs and squeeze in alternatively. Okay, palms can be up or down depending on your shoulders. I always like to have mine up, but some people prefer to have them down. So inhale, you're going to lift your hips up. And I'm going to walk my feet in a bit, and I'm going to try to lift up a little bit more. And exhale, I'm going to just release and come down. So just very simple up and down, no arm movement. Inhale up. And you're pressing your legs into that belt a bit. You might be able to come a little bit higher as a result. And exhale, coming down. Keep it going. Inhale up. And exhale down. And you can keep this going, or if you want to add on, make it a little tougher. Inhale, coming up. This is a bit more strength worked. Depends on the issues you have in your legs or your back. So just be careful. This is a little harder. Tuck your shoulders under. And if you can, come up on your toes and lift up higher. And exhale, bring your heels down. And inhale, can you come up on the toes? So just see how that goes. This is definitely strengthening for the feet. And the ankles, exhale, release. Just see how that feels. We're trying to bring the hips nice and high. And rolling down. Very strengthening for the lower back. And you can leave your legs bent, or you can straighten them, remove that belt. Just keep it to the side for a minute. And just rest with either your legs straight or bent, depending on your back, whatever one feels better. Just take a rest for a moment. And for our counter pose, we're going to put that belt on the legs, so make the belt nice and long. And put the belt on the balls of the feet and hold inside the belt, the hands to the sky. I've got my palms to the sky and I've got the belt on my wrists. If this doesn't work, you can hold the belt any way that feels comfortable for you. There are many techniques. It's just one that I happen to like. So find one that works for you and just stretch your legs nice and long. And inhale, point your toes. Great thing about the supine yoga is you can leave your socks on, which I love in the winter when I practice at night. Exhale, coming back. So this is the kind of practice I do at night. Very, very gentle on my back. A little bit of strength work, a lot of relaxation, preparing for sleep and recharging the body, mind, and spine after a day of work. Or if you're not working in the world, if you're retired, which I know a lot of you are, I'm sure you are keeping busy doing all sorts of things. I've heard that retirement is often busier than working life, so I'm sure you've all been up to all sorts of things, even during this COVID time. Just giving the body time to restore from all of its activities, and the mind time to rest and observe and let go of planning, thinking. Just observing the body and breath. Observing the feeling of the moving body in space, the feeling of the weight of the back on the ground, the feeling of the legs pointing up to the sky. And when you're ready, just going to put one leg in the belt. You can start with your easier side if you have one side that's harder than the other. And your opposite leg can be straight. I like to use a wall that I press my foot into, but you can also have that leg bent. You can also put a pillow or bolster underneath that bent leg to make it more comfortable. So those are some options for you. So you're going to inhale here and exhale. We're going to bend that knee and get into the opposite hip and stretching the lower back. And inhale, straighten the leg and point the toes. And exhale, flex the foot. Yes, like a supine runner's lunge. Just notice how this feels in your hips, in your back. And switching sides, and I'm adding that pointing and flexing of the foot just to work with the ankles a little bit, the calves, and the feet. So just starting with your leg nice and straight. Usually we need to pull a little bit more on that little toe side belt to align the foot. So that's just an alignment cue that you can consider. And it might feel quite different through the calf when you add that piece. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to pull on that left belt a bit, my little toe side. And then I'm going to exhale, I'm going to bend the knee, and this is for tracking of the knees. This is great for just taking care of the knees. And inhale, pointing the toes, flossing the nerves of the legs, massaging the lower back. Inhale, point and straighten, and exhale, bend. You might feel quite a bit in the opposite the opposite hip, the leg that is down. You might feel that quite a bit. And when you're ready, both feet in the belt. And just staying here. You might want to give your hands a bit of a shake after all that holding. And I just encourage you to make a namaste position, your palms together and the belt on your wrists or higher. You might need to make the belt a little longer to just go into a stay. And if this is not comfortable, you could hold the belt like this. And release. We're going to take that bolster or pillow and we're going to put it underneath the buttocks. So sometimes it's just easier to sit on it and lie back. However you can get that adjustment. And then you're going to bring your legs up and make sure you're nice and comfortable. So the bolster no higher than the waist for sure. So whatever you're using, pillow, try not to have the upper edge of it any higher than your waist. And how low is just going to depend on your back. Every time I do it, it feels a little different. Just have to adjust. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths, and if you like, adding the hands as well. And the semi-inversion. So just notice if you're having changes in your breath rate, if you're feeling out of breath or anything like that, just feel free to get rid of the bolster if it's too much on your heart. For those of you with heart disease, just be a little mindful that this might be too much. You can use a smaller pillow if it feels like too much of an inversion. Now, if you'd like, you can start lengthening the exhale. On every 2 breaths, maybe add 1 second. Make it just a little bit longer. I'm using Ujjayi Pranayama, constricting the throat. Very soft, smooth, subtle breath. If you get tingling in the hands, bring them down at any time. And then let go of the lengthening of the breath. Bring your hands down and just rest. If it's comfortable, bring your feet towards your face a little bit. Stretching, decompressing the lower back. So if you tend to get a compressed lower back, this might feel really good. Just decompress it. And again, just be mindful of feelings like too much pressure in the head if you have blood pressure issues. And now we're going to grab that belt again, and you're going to put it on one foot and the other leg comes to the floor. And we're going to feel quite a big stretch in that leg that's down in the hip. So just see if you can just stay here and breathe. And if you like, adding a little bit of movement as you inhale, you can point the toes and exhale, flex. Or just stay in the position. Towards the end of the lengthening the breath, I just move into a breath awareness at this point, just moving more towards a practice of meditation. So I start by lengthening the breath, focusing on the body, breath, movement, body coordination. And then towards the end, when I'm staying in a pose, if I'm able to go into deep relaxation, I just observe the breath. So we'll try that more consciously on this side, so you know what I mean. So inhale, pointing the toes, if that's comfortable, stretching the front of the foot, and exhale, stretching the calf, flexing the feet. And you should be perhaps feeling quite a stretch in that opposite hip, so just notice that. And then when you feel ready, just staying in the pose with the foot flexed. I've got the opposite foot into the wall, that's an option. Lengthening the breath, and then just try to move into breath awareness. observing the rise and fall of the breath. If you find yourself thinking rather than being able to observe the breath, you can say to yourself as you observe the breath, inhale, let, exhale, go, or Sanskrit, inhale, om, exhale, namo. Just letting go. And when you're ready, release, belt, and bring the knees into the chest if that's comfortable for you. Inhale, bring the legs up. And exhale, you can bring both legs in or one leg at a time. So you can do one leg at a time if you prefer. It's less pressure on the chest. Especially if there's heart disease, you might want to do one leg at a time. Or both. And just stay your knees into your chest if that's comfortable. And release. Get rid of that holster, pillow, belt, and just rest for a minute. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, om, exhale, namo. All right. So we're going to move into side twist. So you're going to walk your feet over to one side and cross the foot of the direction you're in. You're going to cross that over. So my feet are to the right and I'm bringing my right ankle across my left. So if you want to do it with me, that might be easier. This one's a little tricky to cue. And you're walking your shoulders also over to the right. And the arms in a comfortable place. I'm going to fold opposite elbows. You can also hold the top wrist or just have the arms at the sides. If this is hurting your lower back, you can uncross the legs. You can put a pillow or a bolster underneath the thighs. Just find your place and you're going to breathe here. And if you'd like, you can add a hold after inhale, half the length of your inhale. So inhale 4 seconds, hold 1, 2, exhale 4 seconds. Or inhale 6, hold 3, exhale 6, inhale 8, hold 4, exhale 8, etc. Do this in your own timing. And when you're ready, release. And cross the legs. Come back to the center. You feel the edges of your mat to help you find your center. Then going to the other side, I'm going to the left with my feet, crossing my left foot over my right to keep the right hip down as I bring my shoulders over to the left, crossing at the elbows, or you can hold your right wrist with your left hand, or the arms can be anywhere that's comfortable, for example, at the sides. Just find your position. We're going to stay here and breathe. Again, you can have a pillow underneath the thighs for the lower back, and you don't have to cross the feet. And adding that hold after inhale on your breath, counting your breath in your head. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 4, or 6, hold 3, exhale 6, 8, hold 4, exhale 8, etc. And when you're ready, release the arms, release the feet. Coming back to the center. Rest for a moment. And that pose can really get into the lower back, so your lower back might feel a little tender after that. I want you to grab a small pillow or a soft block if you have one, and put it underneath the buttocks, the top edge no higher than the waist. And then you're going to bring the knees into the chest, and we're going to do asana. You're going to exhale, bring the knees into the chest. You can hold underneath the knees or on top. Inhale, knees away. And if you like, add a hold after exhale here. Pulling up on the pelvic floor, holding after exhale, and then inhale away. Now, if you've got SI joint issues as you inhale, you might want to open the knees and exhale, draw them together and in. Just creating that circle might feel good on your lower back. Inhale, opening the circle, opening the hips. Exhale, drawing the legs together and knees into chest. And holding after exhale, half the length of your exhale. And just adding a little bit of core work. Inhale, legs to the sky. Leaving your hands by your side. Exhale, touching the toes down to the floor. And then with your core, drawing your legs into your chest. You do this with one leg at a time if this is too much. And if it's not enough, bring the feet further away from the buttocks on that exhale. Inhale up, exhale down and in. If you run out of breath, you just hold the breath after exhale. You flex and point the toes, flexing up, pointing down if you like, to add some ankle movement. And just finishing up, bring the knees to the chest and rest. You can hold on top of the knees, or if you have any knee problems, holding with your hands underneath the knees and just rest. And move that block, the pillow, and just straighten your legs or keep them bent and rest. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And when you feel ready, just moving to a big chest opener. So we give you the option, a few different options here. So the one I'm going to choose is lying on the bolster. You could use a bed pillow for this. If you have a rolled mat, you could lie lengthwise on a rolled mat, and you could put a blanket on top of it to make it more comfortable. You could also roll a blanket and lie on it lengthwise. So I'm just going to show actually with the mat for a minute, just to make sure that you know what this is like. So when you lie on the mat, just make sure that your head is on it. That's really important. And you might want to put a blanket or a pillow under the head. And so that's quite a gentle opener for the heart, the chest. So you can play with that. Or actually, I think I'll start with this. Why not? I'm going to start with the mat. Since I've got it here. And you're just going to lie here and enjoy this opener. And if you feel that it's not enough, you can add on by adding more height, by adding a blanket on top of that rolled mat, or if you like, I am going to switch to my bigger bolster. So this is a bigger opener for the chest. Let's just pick whichever one works better for you. And the other thing that can happen is if you use the bigger bolster or pillow, you might need to put something underneath the lower back to get rid of that curve in the lower back. And again, I've got my feet up the wall so that my back is straight. Feel free to put a blanket over you to keep warm. This is a restorative pose. And if there's any way you can become 1% more comfortable, please do that. So is it removing that block under the buttocks? Is it adding a blanket under the head? Is it adding a block under the back of your bolster or a pillow? And then we're going to breathe in this position. Get any tingling in the arms, the hands. Bring the arms lower. That might be enough to get rid of that. Or you might have to get rid of your bolsters, so be prepared for that. Feeling the opening in the chest and the heart area. This is used for heart disease. It's used for grief, for opening the heart, promoting courage, promoting new energy coming into the system, prana, opening to grace, opening to something new. Inhale, if you can, into the chest and then into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and let the chest fall. Inhale into the chest and then into the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and let the chest fall. Keep this going, starting to count the breath. Inhale, 4 to 10 seconds. Exhale the same, or you can progressively try to build the breath by adding a second every 2 breaths. So I'll let you choose. Then you can add a hold after inhale of half the length of the inhale as well. And let the counting of the breath go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, flow. And when you're ready, move your hands and feet, bend one knee at a time, roll into your side, and go into child's pose. But before we do that, I'm going to show an alternative because I know a few of you in the room have some knee issues, and this would be contraindicated. So I'm going to start with the modification. So the modification, if you have a wall available to you, this is a great way to do it. You have your feet at the wall and your hips apart, and your feet open, and you just allow a nice stretch in the groin and move. Oops, I've got a pulser there. You move away until you feel very comfortable that you can just rest your feet. So that's the child's pose modification. Okay. Now, if child's pose is accessible to you because you don't have issues in your knees, I'm going to show that now. Okay, so this is modification for those of you who can't put pressure on bent legs right now, which is quite a few of you. Okay, and I'm just going to show child's pose with the bolster or bed pillow. Works great for this. And again, I've got the knees coming apart. You can have a bolster or a pillow underneath the buttocks as well. And you're bringing that bolster pillow to you. There's different ways to do this. I'm going to show with hugging the bolster and turning the head to one side. There's another way you like to do this. Feel free. So you might like to have it straight down and have a block or something here to put your forehead on. I find that one quite clumsy, but some people like to have their arms just by the side, turning the head to one side and then switching. You can fold your hands on top, rest your hands on top like this. Try to find a position that feels really comfortable for your body. So this is my personal favorite that I'm showing right now. But you might have another version that works better for you. So find your child's pose. And again, if you have knee issues, I would recommend the first version with your legs at the wall. And just resting here. And you can say that mantra, inhale let, exhale go, inhale om, exhale namo if you like. In this pose of letting go. Turn your head the opposite way at any time you feel ready with your neck. Turn your head whenever you're ready for one more round. And turn the head the opposite way if you haven't already. When you feel complete, you start coming out of the pose very slowly. Move into your Shavasana relaxation with the bolster under your legs if you like, or just straight legs. So you just lie like this, or you could prop the pillow or bolster up so that you get more relaxation through the back. So feel free to adjust it until your back feels really comfortable. Your arms, just tucking your shoulders under, your arms at the side. If you can put lights down where you are, feel free to darken your room. Put an eye pillow on your eyes. Just adding a new mantra now. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. This means that which I am, that deepest part of myself. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. You're already starting to increase the length of your breath. Starting to move hands and feet. And bringing one knee at a time towards the chest. Coming to one side. Coming to a seated position. We're going to do some breathing. So if you'd like, sit in a chair if you're more comfortable rather than on the floor. The only prerequisite for pranayama is that the back is straight. You can sit cross-legged, or I like to sit in Vajrasana, diamond pose, easier on my knees. Some of my students like to sit on the bolster or a pillow like this. So maybe I'll do that tonight. It's kind of a nice variation you can play with. You can even add a block under the buttocks in that one. Give a bit more height. So lots of variations of how to sit. And of course, cross-legged, if that's comfortable for your hips. And we're going to do a pranayama where you're going to breathe into one nostril and then the other. So your hands, they can be in Mariki Mudra with the last two fingers together in the thumb, using that, or little finger and thumb, or you can just create a little beak with your hands, which a lot of people prefer. So any of those positions, simplest is to just create a little beak with your hands. Okay, and bring up one of your hands. I'm going to start with my right. So you're going to inhale through the left nostril, half closed if comfortable. And keeping this elbow nice and high. Then I switch to my right nostril, exhale. And again, I half close it if I can. Inhale into the right nostril. Exhale, left nostril. And then we're going to switch arms to give your arms a break. Inhale, left nostril. Exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right nostril. Exhale, left nostril. And switching sides. It's called Nadi Shodhana, cleaning of the nadis, the energy channels. Inhale, left nostril. Exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. And switching sides. Going to keep doing this side to side, your own timing or with me. Inhale, left, exhale, right, exhale, left, and switching sides. Pick a ratio that suits you. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Or keep going up the ladder till you find a ratio that's about 80% of your capacity. Even inhale and exhale at this point. Just doing your last round. And just finishing up. Breathing in both nostrils evenly with Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale. Exhale. With your own timing, doing this as a counter pose to the previous pranayama. And just observing the rise and fall of the breath. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. If you like, tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Hands at the heart. Thank you very much. Have a great sleep and week ahead of you. Namaste.